Sanchita, let's talk about the health sector and the insurance benefits. The health insurance under the Nil GST bracket, the insurance sector reactions which have come in, they are saying that it's landmark move because it's about ensuring that the health care protection becomes affordable. This is also coming at a time when medical inflation is very, very high. If you go to a private hospital, the amount that you have to spend on any kind of treatment is steep.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought up this point because I'm a part of the financial services industry, and it's indeed a landmark move, because if one were to see the penetration in India, life insurance as an industry, the penetration in India of financial year 24 is a very dismal 2.8%. Right? Health insurance is close to around 15 to 20%. It's growing by the day, but nevertheless, it's one of the lowest in the world. So I think removing GST for life insurance policies, health insurance policies, all your ULIPs, endowment, reinsurances, I think it's a fabulous move because it really, really incentivizes the common man to get himself or herself insured. It is indeed a landmark move.
Okay. Ashpreet, come in.
Thank you. See, I had asked very specific questions to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. However, he chose not to answer them. Maybe the Bharatiya Janata Party does not have the answers to these questions. First is, would compensation be given to the states for revenue loss or not? No answer. In the next segment, I do hope the BJP spokesperson would give it. Number two, if yes, if you are willing to pay the compensation, how much would it be? And by when would it be given? There has to be a timeline to it. And the reason as to why I'm asking this question is because per year, the revenue loss to the states would be ranging from 85,000 crores to 2 lakh crores per year. And that would basically mean the common man would be suffering. These funds, this money is to be used for the welfare of the people, for the governance. And if it's going to be reduced and there's going to be a revenue loss and people are going to be suffering, people are going to be impacted, you ought to tell us what plan do you have to ensure that they don't suffer. Number two, there are a couple of questions about compensation cess as well. Why has it not been increased? Why does the Bharatiya Janata Party not want to increase the compensation cess? And other than that, there are a couple of concerns of the states, which is one, vis-a-vis the delay in GST compensation, vis-a-vis the transparency.
Ashpreet, I want to speak about the Trinamool Congress handle, which has just put out a reaction that has come in, directly from Mamata Banerjee. They are saying, and I would ask the producer to put that on screen as well, a victory for common people, a victory wrested from a tone-deaf regime that only listens when forced. From day one, Srimati Mamata Banerjee warned the finance minister that taxing insurance premiums was cruel, anti-people, and would deter families from securing their future. And then she says that the rollback proves that BJP only acts when cornered.
Ji. Now, this goes on to suggest how the Bharatiya Janata Party had to be pressurized. The people of India have been mounting pressure on the Bharatiya Janata Party's government. The opposition has been mounting pressure on the Bharatiya Janata Party's government because of the way our economy has been suffering, because of the inflation that has been there vis-a-vis dal, dahi, doodh, paneer and whatnot, diesel, petrol. And number three, other than that, highest unemployment rate in the last 45 years. In these circumstances, in this situation, it is very difficult for a person to pay so much tax. And therefore, after all the criticism, after all the pressure, the Bharatiya Janata Party center government finally succumbed. Yet, there are a couple of things that the BJP needs to answer. And I was talking of a couple of concerns as well, which is one, that transparency ought to be maintained in the GST settlement process, revenue neutrality, and benefits of rate rationalization should not just go to a few companies, but also to the common people. And other than that, the credit that the BJP spokesperson was talking about, we want to tell you this one thing, that we do not want credit. We do not seek credit like
Home
the BJP
Minister
does.
Amit Shah has now tweeted.
Just one last line, madam. Just one last line. So we do not see credit. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party's job. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party's duty, because
Okay.
even when they copied 30 plus
A
schemes
number
from us,
of
Make in
tweets
India,
now
Skill
coming
India,
in
just one, Mariam,
from
when they
all the
copied
ministers.
Make in
Arshpreet,
India,
let
when
me
they
just
copied
quickly
Make
read
in
that, and I'm
India,
coming
Skill
back to you,
India,
Arshpreet.
Swachh Bharat,
I'm coming back to
then
you.
did not take credit. 30 plus
I'm
schemes were
coming
copied by
back
the
to you.
BJP.
You can keep the credit then, because finance minister says that the states had an equal role. So she has already credited, and you know, she's ready to share the credit. So Amit
Only
Shah,
give
Home
credit to
Minister,
the
has
people for
said
mounting pressure on
this
BJP.
historic decision of GST rate cuts and process reforms will bring huge relief to the poor and middle class, while also supporting farmers, MSMEs, women and youth. By simplifying the system and reducing the burden on common citizens, these reforms will not only ensure ease of living, but also give a big boost to ease of doing business, especially for small traders and entrepreneurs. Let's focus on MSMEs. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, how much of relief will it bring into this very crucial sector, that is MSME?
Ajay, we have to understand one thing is very clear, that MSME were benefiting from GST because of input tax credit, ease of compliances, online registration, filing of returns, then refund, automatic refund, etc. One nation, one market. They were benefiting out of this whole one nation, one tax issue. Even the logistic sector was logistic cost was getting reduced due to reduced time of transportation, etc. So the ultimately the it is the MSME and manufacturing sector which had been was getting maximum benefit under the GST. Now further reduction in prices will definitely bring the cost of the mercantilized costs to the common man, and it will increase demand. Surely it will also, the focus is also on ease of doing business and increasing consumption demand in the economy. So the thing is, it's three-way which will benefit manufacturing and MSME. One is reduction in compliances, simplification in compliances, simplification in processes. More inverted duty structure was one thing which MSME had been facing a lot of problems in, that where the finished product was at tax at a lower GST rate, and the intermediaries were being taxed at a higher rate, so they could not claim inverted duty structure, IT income, this input tax credit. So that is also has been rationalized. So MSME will be benefited because of reduction in construction in cement, etc. And MSME has been an important hallmark because at the level of free trade disruptions at the global level also have caused certain problems for
Okay.
MSME. This will
Okay,
compensate
I
them
have
on.
just enough time for Mr. Garg, and then we wrap up this coverage. Mr. Garg, what will this GST next generation reforms do to the Indian economy? What's your take on short-term to long-term gains?
So, Maria, the GST reforms undertaken are long overdue. They are well directed. I think most of the reforms are well conceived, and this will make the GST structure, implementation, classification very much more smooth than it is. So that's a very good positive. It will definitely give some boost to the consumption demand, especially for the middle class goods kind of thing. That's also a positive. It will also lead to the loss of revenue, especially the states will suffer. How much is for us to know, but I don't think there would be a very material big impact on the economic growth in the next 1 to 2 years.